Welcome into this Tuesday edition, Blue Sky Live, here with you today. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio for another edition of the podcast. You guys in full form in the stream. We'll get into what we can as the morning moves on. You know, SEC tournament day one today, Alabama and Missouri. Anytime the Mizzou Tigers are going to play baseball, we've got to be locked in for that one. The power conference is sending out what they want to be a contract to their institutions to ignore state law. Discuss that a little bit today. And then, yes, obviously the news this morning of a bit of a change. So we'll get into that as we can. I encourage everyone to have some patience here as we play through this. There's things like legal documents and contracts and whatnot. So we'll get to what we can and be with you and explain what we can here this morning on the show. A show brought to you every day by Blue Sky locations throughout the state of Mississippi, up and down I-55. They're out in North Mississippi as well. The epicenter down in Macomb. Sweet Daddy's locations, catering, so many different items for you there with Sweet Daddy's and Blue Sky. And then shout out to Ben, too. He's been a good help to me this week, so I appreciate his friendship and a couple things there with that in him. So anyway, Blue Sky, Sweet Daddies, and again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are. Clark Ford is in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900. Call that number. Ask for my friend Corey Clark. Tell him what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours, right to the bottom line. No hassle, no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop that quote around. You can do what I've done, what I think you should do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today. They'll get great service. We're having some issues with one of our Clark Fords, and Clark Ford's already made the drive over this morning to pick it up, take it to Amory so they can look at it themselves. They'll do that kind of thing for you as well. Great service after the sale. 662-257-1900. Guest join on MPW Digital on the Campbell Clinic hotline. From fractures and sports injuries to complex spine and limb conditions, the pediatric orthopedic physicians at Campbell Clinic in Oxford are the only specialized pediatric orthopedic team in North Mississippi providing expert care for growing bodies. Visit CampbellClinicOxford.com to schedule an appointment or call 901-759-3111.
Hello to Gabe Newarman in the stream. See, he can talk about all the Mizzou pitching depth right there. We got Gabe in the stream today. Missouri holding all their starters for the SEC tournament to win this thing.
I want them to win. I want them to win a game or two so bad.
Played Bama at 9:30 this morning.
I mean, not bad enough to watch that, but bad.
You want to lead it off, or you want me to talk? When you want to do it?
I think. Well,
it feels like I should talk, right?
I think you should probably talk.
Okay. All jokes aside, I know we're making a little bit of light here. I know oddly there is, there's not. I guess it's not oddly, but there seems to be some frustration, some unknowns. First off, before I get there, MPW Digital is not changing in any way whatsoever at any point. I feel like we've said that a lot, but I think it's probably the first thing that needs to be said always.
Yes.
And that is that this podcast network, Neal and I co-own, and it is not affiliated with any website. It is not affiliated with any team site. It has no bearing on anything we are doing from a website standpoint whatsoever. So just be aware of that. It's not changing. We're hanging out this morning.
We've had sponsors, but we've never had an investor. No one has any stake in 247, and that includes. I mean, in that either. No one has any stake in MPW Digital. That includes 247, Rivals, everybody else.
Yes, correct.
People have inquired about it numerous times.
Yes,
but as of this moment, there's no controlling interest, and therefore nothing that happens outside of here changes anything that happens here.
No, Neal and I are perfectly fine. We have no qualms whatsoever here. No issues. So I, as of this morning, I am now at 24/7 Sports, CBS Sports. I put out some stuff on Twitter. Had first stories this morning. I explained why in a content item. You can find that. Also have a pretty good, what I think, or hope it's pretty good profile on Keith Carter, Glenn Boyce, and kind of what they've done throughout the last 5 years in this Ole Miss athletics
You
resurgence.
threw that together fast this morning.
I did. I got to work this
away.
morning and got
Wow.
blown away.
Wow.
Keith and I met at like 3:30 and got the thing hashed out.
Incredible.
Neal's okay. Yeah, the 6 said, "Congrats, Chase. Neal, hope you're okay." He's fine.
I'm a little sore right now from falling.
Yeah, he fell this morning in a run, but he's fine.
I did.
So, I know for a lot of people out there, you might not get the whole thing, but guys, I'm asking for some patience here. Asking for you to trust us. We're being as honest as we can be. We're telling you everything we can tell you when we can tell you that. And you're gonna have to just chill out a little bit. We'll see what's going on. Because we announced this morning also Brian Rippey, Tyler Siskey, Jeffrey Wright, contributing in different ways there at 24/7 Sports. Also, I'm waiting on Neal to change his Twitter profile picture to Wilson and the volleyball from Castaway at this at this point. Yeah. And Hunter says I'm so confused. I understand.
Well, yeah,
I get it. If you don't have Twitter, you probably did miss something. But yes, announced this morning, CBS 24/7 for me. First 2 content items are up there. And like I said, Neal and I are fine, but it is a big change. Just, leaving rivals in general. Something that I wrote this morning. I think Neal put it out on the board with his announcement of my departure and then put it on Twitter. It's been 16 years. It was 16 years last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yep.
It was sometime in early May when that happened. And, we knew each other, but I don't know that Neal and I necessarily knew each other that well when that happened. We'd probably 2 years or so to some extent, maybe a little less than that, because you'd been there about a year. You came in the spring of 2008.
Yeah. I came in 2008 and essentially ran the site by myself for 14 months, and it was proving to be way too much.
I seem to recall, if I'm right about this, I think you and I first met either in Hoover or in Oxford in like 2006, 2000, somewhere in there when you were covering something to do with Ole Miss. Maybe it wasn't Hoover, but something to do when you came in for Orgeron during a time period or something along those lines during those deals.
That was a fun.
You were more high strung back then.
Oh, I was a lot more high strung back then. A lot more.
I tell you one thing, and Neal hasn't changed that much. And guys, today's show is just gonna be kind of rambling. If you are at 24/7 and you logged into this show, this is not what we are clearly talking to people that have been with us for a long time. We are talking about the situation and the change. We talk sports and we talk life and we talk a lot of topics here, including the Karen Reed trial that I know Neal wants to get to later. So just don't base everything off this one show in this 1 hour is kind of what I'm telling you. But I do remember, and Neal hasn't changed too much, and I don't know if you even remember this. So I think it was, were you in Oxford the day Orgeron was fired? Or his press conference announcing he was gone? Okay, well, it was sometime right after that then, or somewhere in there. And Neal and I didn't really know each other, and there had been some sort of a story we needed to all get out. I don't remember. And I think it was Jeff Robertson, walked over to me, and he goes, "Hey, about to go to Nukes or something. We're going to do something. You want to go?" And Neal goes, "Can food just freaking wait for a minute?" And you're like, could write the stories first, whatever, and got all over our asses because we were not getting to our work. We were going to go get a sandwich or a salad or something at that point. And I went, you know what? It's not wrong at that point.
No, sometimes everything has to stop.
Yeah.
It is what it is. It's part of being in journalism.
So if you are not a 24/7 member, code Chase gets you 75. That's the numeral 7, the numeral 5, 75% off at the Ole Miss 24/7 site there. You can use that. Again, Chase gets you 75 is the code. I'll put it out numerous places throughout the day. And look, had a lot of options. Talked to Neal a lot throughout this. A lot of reasons for switches. I know there's obviously been a lot of change throughout the industry in different ways. And 24/7 offers a ton of resources, a ton of support, a ton of analysts, a ton of things to make, well, no matter what school you cover, a ton of things easier and better for the customer. And that was one of the lot of reasons the decision was made in that way. So, again, not going to sit here and talk about it all day, but patience. We'll be as honest as we can on the show, on the sites, everywhere that we can do that. And you've been with us for a long time. A lot of you guys have been with us for a decade now, potentially from a podcast standpoint. So hopefully we have earned some trust and some ability for that patience to exist and for this to all work out. But yeah, I think the biggest things is right now today, MPW Digital not changing in the slightest. Neal and I have zero issues with each other whatsoever. We're 100% on the same page. No change from yesterday or any other day through that. We're not going to be throwing pies or tomatoes or anything, to the best of my knowledge here in this. I don't particularly like the blue Powerade. Gatorade Zero. We've got some different Gatorade flavor taste maybe, but other than that, we're good.
You don't like blue Gatorade Zero?
Not one of my favorite.
Really?
Blue is like one of my least favorites.
What's your favorite?
The Glacier Freeze.
Oh, it's excellent.
From the Gatorade, the Glacier Freeze.
Yeah.
And then this is going to be a hot take, and I get it because a lot of people find it very medicinal. But from a Powerade standpoint, when you're hot, the Powerade Zero that's orange. When you're really hot, I love the orange Powerade Zero.
I don't know that I've ever had it. I've had the red Powerade Zero and the blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll have to try the orange.
Yeah,
now.
I like the orange.
Okay.
I tried a pink Powerade Zero yesterday. Not quite as good. It was maybe like strawberry kiwi or something like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't like that one. I've had it.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, guys. I mean, again, I can't say more right now. You get this if you're in any kind of business sense whatsoever. So that's where we are. Neal's fine. Neal's going to be okay. So no issues there. With
a little
Mr.
worried about my
McCready
collarbone right now.
That's your biggest concern?
My biggest concern right now is that I'm a little concerned about my shoulder. I'm hoping that it's just some soreness from landing on it.
Anything you'd like to add? Are we good?
No, just landed on it really hard.
Okay.
It hurts right now.
Neal did post on rebelgrove.com and probably did not use the little premium thing. So you would be able to if you want some updates on Neal's situation and what's going on there, you can also can go over and read that at rebelgrove.com. It's there to see what he is saying. Yeah, and he did fall.
It was a big fall. And I was moving. I was literally.
You had just told me yesterday you were doing better than you've done in a really long time.
Yeah, and today I was my pace was even faster, and I wasn't even trying to go faster, but I was kind of going down a hill, and I was crossing the street, and I'd hit that point in your run where you run, so you know this. There's a place in your run where you just kind of check out mentally.
Yeah,
and I was there. It's very freeing, and I guess I hit a curb. Sort of, or I hit a rock or I don't know. And next thing you know, I'm tumbling.
That sucks.
Oh, it does suck so bad.
I trip a lot when I get in that mode because my feet just don't come up as high, and I kind of like skid over myself and look incredibly unathletic, which is probably not too far away from the truth there. I do appreciate some people on the stream mentioning they don't have Twitter because I think sometimes I think that all of our listeners are seeing this somewhere else. So I do appreciate.
Jealous. I'm so jealous of the people that don't have Twitter.
I do appreciate that. I do. So looking forward to working with Tyler Comas. I think that's worth saying here in this space. I think I have spent a long time in baseball press boxes covering Ole Miss, and frankly, a lot of years I have not been concerned with competition or anybody else necessarily on the beat in that way. And Tyler does work very hard. He goes to a lot of events, and it's been good to get to know him throughout baseball season as well. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, we can say a ton more, but that's kind of the situation is you'll still get all your news here. Nothing will change whatsoever. And we will press on. But yeah, I have a Why I Joined 24/7 story up there at the website currently, as well as the kind of Keith Boyce Lane feature, if you will, whatever that is, whatever you want to call it. Those back up. Got a few other stories coming, some different things. So coming out again, Chase gets you 75% off there at 24/7 Sports.
So did this podcast get credit for the Kiffin hire when you talked to Carter?
He mentioned that there were increased emails during the course of that Tuesday and Wednesday. Yeah, that was there was a larger emphasis on Kiffin compared to Norvell during that period of time because Norvell was the hot early name. I remember that. I think it was the first name we ever put out that night. We were doing a show on that Sunday night after Matt was
in fact,
was let go.
In that podcast, I said if you can hire Mike Norvell, you do it. But if you can't hire him, you hire Kiffin, and still sort of stand by that. I know.
And Norvell, he was going to Florida State pretty early.
Yeah,
that never felt like it got overly real.
No. And my point was, you call him. He's at Memphis.
I mean, I've said this multiple times, and we'll probably have some 24/7 people listening, so appreciate your first time if you are over there. I linked you on the board. I mean, I have said this. I think had Keith Carter not hired him, he would have hired Elijah Drinkwitz.
Yeah.
I think Drinkwitz would be the coach at Ole Miss today if Kiffin had gone to Arkansas or not taken the Ole Miss job.
Well, I remember telling you, I'm missing something here. There's something, and it was Drinkwitz,
Yeah. Because there was like some people went, hey, Will Healy. And it's like, you can't hire Will Healy.
Nah.
You can't hire the Charlotte guy to come to Ole Miss and resurrect what this is doing and where this is coming from.
You had to make an SEC hire.
And they did.
They did.
And then that same group does it again with Beard. You had to do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And you did that. We also talked in depth, it's in there, about one of our faithful subscribers from back in the day was the one that gets to the FBO there at Wilson Air Center and took the videos and the pictures of Kiffin and Jimmy Sexton leaving the facility, put them on the message board. It was a good night. It was sort of your quintessential coaching search, middle of coaching search night.
Yeah.
Where, hey, what we got? Oh, we have pictures of the agent and the head coach leaving the Air Center.
Wasn't a whole lot to deny at that point.
No, because Keith admitted in the story that he said I could have been strangled by the person if they wanted to. He never saw them in the bushes as he was pulling out in his white Ford F-150.
Sometimes it's just part of the job, hide in the bushes to get the picture.
We've seen that before.
Seen that.
And he, because he had gone to Boca by himself. He had spent 3 hours with Lane. He made sure not to wear Ole Miss clothing. He was trying to do this whole clandestine, sneaky situation. Didn't realize that they did not block the tail number of the flight that went from Oxford or I guess Memphis or wherever it landed to, or where it started, to Boca and back. And that gauged a lot of interest on Arkansas message boards that then brought it all over the creation. At that point, he had barred Sean Tuohy's plane and the tail number not blocked at that point. So they learned a little bit when it was Boyce and Carter going to talk to Beard. They decided they were going to take the university plane, but they met in Nashville, and nobody could really key in Beard being in Nashville. So that was safe. It was okay to go Oxford to Nashville at that point. So anyway, story up there. You can read all about it. Take a minute. It's not the shortest thing in the world, but that's okay. Still got a lot of stuff going on. Gabe says he's going to need a video of the fall to prove Chase didn't do a Neal. Jim Halpert pushing Michael Scott into the koi pond, not push Neal down this morning. My knowledge.
Michael Scott.
You were kind of like, you were off running literally, and then thought you'd get back, and it altered your morning already a little bit. You're banged up. It sent you.
Yeah.
Hope it's not a sign for what's to come.
Hopefully it's not a sign of
a
harbinger of the rest of the day. Because I need my guys to win game one tonight.
Oh, that's what we're concerned with.
Yeah, I'm concerned with game one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we going to be able to avoid some tornadoes and terrible weather in Hoover tonight? I'm really worried about this schedule just for our situation. Nothing else. Are we looking better?
As of yesterday, it was looking a little better.
Because it looked like it was coming in late tonight, which still could disrupt that late game tonight, which is my concern.
Yeah, Laura was telling me about late tonight here. She's like, I want you to move this, 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 and this. And I was like, okay, we'll just cover that ground. Let's see.
Okay.
I had Hoover up.
Yeah, what do we got?
Hoover, Alabama. The hourly forecast. They're good till about 8 o'clock.
That's not good. There's a game at 8.
They got a 59% chance of rain at 8. Goes to 60 at 9, 78 at 10, 87 at 11, and then clears back out.
So do we start at midnight? It's Hoover. Or are we just destined?
I don't know if
are we just destined for one of those nice 10 p.m. Wednesday night games instead of 4?
It's possible.
Well, they have the quarterfinals on Thursday and Friday split between 2 days, so there's room in a calendar to make the games up. But
There's room
if
to
my
play
math is
their
doing
Thursday
it right,
morning game.
but if my math is right, you're having to make somebody potentially play twice by doing that in a day.
Yeah, I don't know. It looked to me like it might go north of there.
Okay.
If you're wanting to follow someone, James Spann on X.
We're giving him
Twitter.
good mileage this week.
Well, he's the guy to follow in Alabama.
He's their Matt LeBahan, if you will.
Yeah, I mean he's
been doing it for decades.
He's an institution in the seriously
No, I know.
in the state of Alabama. I mean
he's the guy.
Yeah.
Did the other weather channels like in Birmingham even scratch, or is it just everybody going to James?
I mean, I'm sure people do good work, but he's
the dude.
I mean, he's just
you got to dethrone.
He is an institution in that state, literally. So, I'll follow him a little bit as the day goes on. He'll be on top of it.
Yeah, I'm worried about it just from a timing standpoint. Again, I mean, the Ole Miss is going to play the game. It's no big deal. They'll play it at some point. But if I'm just being kind of selfish here as we're doing this, I do think it has some impact on you and I. You have Carson's graduation on Friday?
Yes.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm fine.
Are you?
Yeah. High school graduations to me are not emotional experiences.
Oh, it wasn't for any of your kids, just them leaving the house and whatnot?
No.
Because I guess leaving the house is different than graduating high school necessarily. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're an empty nester once you leave.
Yeah. I mean, when Campbell left to go to school, when we dropped her off, she was so ready to be dropped off that I was kind of okay. Laura was upset. When we dropped Caroline off, I got emotional because that was different. I don't know, just that was different, and it'll be a weird drive back from Carson. I know that, but I think we're kind of not like looking forward to it because he'll be gone, but I think we're kind of actually sort of looking forward to that chapter a little bit.
Are you really?
Well, in a way. I think I told you this. I think I got all of the emotion out of me when the soccer thing happened. It was a month leading up to it where I knew, God, this is the end of this chapter of my life that I've really enjoyed. And it's been a big part of my life. And he was making a big decision about whether to play or not. And there was all of that. And it all kind of culminated. And when that ended, that was
finality.
I didn't realize it at the time, but there was a lot of closure then.
Yeah.
So these last few months have not been emotional.
Yeah.
So I don't think Friday night's going to be emotional watching him graduate from Oxford High School. I don't.
Yeah. All right, we'll take the first break. Tell you that the podcast is brought to you by the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. Spring sports are underway, and football selection times have just hit those inboxes. The foundation is running the Points in the SIP campaign until the end of the month. Qualifying donations of at least $5,000 made to the Ole Miss Athletics or the Vol Society will be included in the bonus point program for 2 or 3 times the usual amount. So if you want to get your priority points up, now's the perfect time to do so. Call the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation at 662-915-7159 or give to athletics.com.
We're also brought to you by I'm just laughing at people. We're with people, not at people. Laughing with you, not at you. We're brought to you by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great people, products, and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer, 662-801-1777. If you live in Memphis, South Haven, Hernando, Olive Branch, those areas, call Southern, 662-429-4429. We're brought to you by Window Hero. From window cleaning to pressure washing, gutter cleaning, gutter guards, everything in between, Window Hero has the experience, equipment, and expertise to make your property look and feel brand new. If you're in North Mississippi, let Window Hero make your home or business's exterior look amazing. They can clean up to 4 stories on buildings. 662-510-7077 or windowhero.com. Oxford locals and Ole Miss families, if you need dry cleaning or laundry done right, Lapel's Dry Cleaning has you covered. Proudly serving the Oxford community since 2016, Lapel's takes care of everything from suits and formal dresses to comforters and everyday laundry. Even better, they offer free pickup and delivery to make life easier. Just call 662-638-3149 to be added to their pickup and delivery route, or visit them at 3010 Old Taylor Road, right across from the Mark Condominiums. Mention Rebel Grove for 50% off your first order. Trust lapels to keep you looking your best. Are you retiring soon? How long should you wait to take Social Security? What accounts should you pull from first? Are you already retired? Should you consider Roth conversions? These are just some of the questions that can only be answered with the personalized retirement income plan. Andrew Seago with Seago Wealth Management specializes in helping folks just like you come up with their retirement game plan. Whether you meet at his office in Collierville or prefer Zoom from anywhere, schedule a free discovery meeting and see what they can do for you. It's rebelsretire.com. We're brought to you by Arnett's Fine Jewelry. It's a fourth-generation jeweler located in the old Lamons Jewelry Building, North Lamar Avenue in Oxford. They offer expert jewelry repair, diamond engagement rings, wedding bands, stackable diamonds, basically any jewelry need you have. Arnett's can fill it. They're great for gifts, birthdays, graduations, anniversary gifts, flexible bangles, diamond pendants, earrings, and more. At Arnett's, they want to be your jeweler.
You know, it's funny here. I mean, kind of last thought, but I think we're so used to, I mean, it's what we've kind of built brand on, and being honest and just kind of telling everything, that it's a really odd situation right now to like not just be able to talk. Like, I'm not in one thing in particular, just in general. Like, and I know for you especially, because you can't say shit. But like, it's just, I'm sitting here going, I get it, and I'd love to say 4 sentences, and I can't say those sentences.
Oh, it's totally my nature.
It's completely against your.
I mean, I'm transparency sort of my brand, and I just don't feel like I can say. I feel like I'm just protecting myself here.
Well, because I feel like it. You are at this point. There's no doubt about that. All right. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned this. I'll just hit it quick. I mean, we're not going to spend a ton of time on it because Ole Miss doesn't play. Everybody had a bunch of mileage yesterday on what we had talked about during yesterday's show. I still think Ole Miss is 1 win away, especially if it's Florida, from hosting a regional. I mean, again, maybe they already have it locked up. Who knows? We have no way to know that either way. But I saw I think Kendall yesterday had mentioned that he actually liked Ole Miss's resume right now better than Alabama's, and that felt a little pointed, like he knew something. Ole Miss has better wins than Alabama. Alabama's
significantly better.
Yeah, Alabama's got a good overall resume, and that RPI is high. But as I told you, those RPIs are so stuck together right now that that's not necessarily a ton of difference. 1-2 games can create some things there. I mean, if you could get manna from heaven, if you're Ole Miss, you'd love Missouri to get one today, in all seriousness. Like, if they could find a way to knock Bama out this morning, you go ahead and cross them off the list and move on to the next one.
Stop making those Missouri jokes at that point, wouldn't you?
You would.
Yeah.
Well, look, I'm the one that said they were going to win a game.
You did.
You said 0-30 the whole time. You've been talking nothing but crap about them the entire season. And
but
here they are.
I just love the saving our pitching for the tournament. It's brilliant, actually. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, yes, that's exactly what you should do. You got one path to make the tournament.
Would you have done that?
I don't know that I'm cunning enough to have come up with that strategy, but I genuinely admire the hell out of it.
What percentage chance do they have winning that freaking tournament?
Well, more with rested pitchers than they did without them.
Okay. They ruined the integrity of the game by not even trying last weekend. It has nothing to do with state. I don't care. Bulldogs might be a sack of hell 3, by the way, for somebody.
Hey. I'm totally serious. They've played really well for a month.
They have.
I wouldn't want to play them.
Of the downstream teams, Florida would be the scariest if you were a host.
And then state.
More than Tennessee?
Yes.
More than Tennessee?
Yeah, because Tennessee's weird internally.
Okay.
And state right now is one of those teams that, hey, we got nothing to lose. We're going to play really, really hard. We're good enough if we put everything together, blah, blah, blah. There's no pressure. No, they're scary. They're not tight.
Okay.
Teams like that are frightening. There's no chance of them choking. And I don't mean that, like, when I say that, I mean no chance of them just getting so tight that they can't play their game.
Yeah, freaking out because of...
No, they're just going to play. And if they get beat, they get beat. They'll go have a few beers. They were left for dead months ago. They fired their coach. No, they're scary. They've won by making the tournament.
Oh,
Tennessee was expected to get to Omaha. Tennessee was expected to win the whole thing.
yes, that was the.
Yes. And they're not as good as those upper echelon SEC teams. Now, they're talented and they're capable. And if they put it all together, sure. But you could also tell me they get sent someplace for a super or whatever and just get beat.
I was looking for that tweet from Kendall, but I'll get to it. I'll get to it in a few minutes. I don't see it at the moment, but it had Alabama and Ole Miss's wins, and yeah, I mean from that straight standpoint, it still is going to come down if the committee is only concerned with the positives, which is typically what the basketball committee is. Then they justifiably should have it locked, but you just feel like maybe one is relevant here. One more would be relevant here as they move downstream here at this point. Here we go. All right. Yeah, I mean, it's this. Notable series wins. Alabama, their notable series wins are Oklahoma and Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have wins over North Carolina State. And then I'm assuming CCU is Coastal Carolina.
I think so.
That's who that means.
Yeah.
So Oklahoma, Georgia, Coastal, North Carolina State.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss, their series wins are Florida, Vanderbilt, and Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
And neutral site, one-game wins over Clemson and Arizona. That seems pretty clear.
Yeah.
That doesn't even necessarily seem like a difficult decision if you're talking about strictly that. Ole Miss has more quad one wins at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's not a head-to-head. That's not how it works. But
listen, I'll say it. I won't be surprised at all. In fact, I might think this is where it's already going. If no matter what Ole Miss does or doesn't do this week, they're hosting.
do you think we learned anything from what the basketball committee did, or it's completely a 180 and not the same
I don't know.
situation?
It's hard to say. But I've been doing this long enough to not put a hell of a lot of stock into Hoover.
At all.
I really don't.
Typically, it doesn't.
I mean, I really don't. I know that's not great for ratings here. We should say, man, this game Wednesday, it's
whatever.
It's life and death, but I don't think it is.
With them all bunched, though.
I mean, you have to separate some things, but look.
Because the question is, hey, is Alabama-Tennessee potentially a play-in game in the morning?
Could be. So here's the question, right? Here's the question, and I don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Auburn's going to have a regional. Georgia's going to have a regional. Do they want to put another one? Are they willing to put another regional in Tuscaloosa with it so close geographically? I don't know. There's not one in Starkville. I think there's a real strong chance there's one in Oxford. There's going to be one in Tallahassee. How much are they willing to cram them all into one place? Yeah, I'll give you my answer, which is you should give the top 16 teams a host. You should think about box office and people, how many people are going to pack it. If you have a reason to put one in Oxford, Mississippi, you should. And I would say the same about Starkville, by the way, about Fayetteville, about Baton Rouge, places that really, really care about college baseball. If there's a way for you to put regionals in those places, you should. It makes much better television. But I don't know that the committee thinks that way. I think they've been increasingly thinking that way, but I don't know that they're all the way there. So are they going to do the cute thing where you put one in Irvine or somewhere because, well, we need to put one out here? I don't know.
And I want to say the SEC got 7 2 years ago. I think that was the number.
7 hosts?
I think so.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, the basketball thing, they just got 14 basketball bids.
And then justified it.
Yeah.
Again, not the same sport.
No.
But they justified it.
Yeah.
They didn't go winless. No, they kept winning.
They put how many in the Elite Eight? How many? There was 7 Sweet 16 teams?
Yeah.
2 in the Final Four and then won the championship. I mean, it's a dominant league. It was a dominant league in baseball this year. I watched a lot of it. There are really good teams in the league. Consistent teams.
It's why you keep saying you think you're better off just, even if you have to go on the road, go over there and play somebody else, then avoid the SEC groups. See them in Omaha.
Oh, I mean, I'll
Deal
go
with it.
Like the 3 teams that you know, well, 2 for sure, Texas and Arkansas. are national seeds, no matter what. Agreed?
Yeah, 100%.
If I'm them, the only thing if the committee could come to me and go, you get one request. Okay. I'd like an SEC free path to Omaha.
Because I saw somebody had Ole Miss the 15 overall seed, which was a host, in projections yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But it was matched up with Arkansas.
Yeah. If I'm Arkansas, I don't want that. Because they would have no fear. They would not be intimidated by Baum.
Mm-mm.
You send another team from another conference into that place.
Gets a little weird.
It gets a little weird. It gets loud. And you get a little freaked out. That's it. Ball game. And they're awfully good. I mean, I've watched them a lot this year. I've watched LSU a lot this year. Those are two really talented teams. I mean, they're very steady. But you put an Ole Miss. Ole Miss is a great example. Mississippi State's a great example. They're not going to be intimidated to go to Baton Rouge or Fayetteville. UCLA might. They might walk in there and go, we don't play in this routinely. You don't encounter this at Michigan State when you play baseball. You don't get that environment. You've seen games at Swayze where you can tell the other team's a little freaked out just by the noise.
Interesting stat yesterday. Speaking of this, I think Dylan sent it to me. Pull it up here. It's an Oregon State account that sent it. Since 2021, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 postseasons, and now going into the 5th, not one regional host has had double-digit quad 3 and quad 4 losses, okay, combined.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let alone a top 8 national seed. So no one's hosted. He says he wished to go back further, but realistically would not be surprised if Oregon is the first regional host ever to have double-digit quad 3, quad 4 losses in the RPI era. And they're even in a top 8 situation, too. The mileage that Oregon is getting right now, because they have a weirdly positive RPI, is asinine.
I don't understand it.
I mean, to your point, if you're Ole Miss, you go, hey, you can host, but you're matched with Arkansas, or you can go to Eugene, and then you get matched with North Carolina.
It's a no-brainer.
Let's go do that.
It's a no-brainer.
We'll go play Oregon.
Yeah. No, I mean, the same,
up in the cold, whatever.
The same holds true. I promise you, Ole Miss isn't going, yes, please send us to Baton Rouge or Fayetteville. You know what you're in for. You could play really well and lose. I mean, it literally just happened. I mean, Arkansas and LSU played a series in Baton Rouge where Arkansas played 2 really good games and only won one of them.
Oregon is 19-7 against quad 3s and 8-4 against quad 4s. Incredible.
They shouldn't host.
They have good wins.
Yeah.
Have really good wins.
No, I mean, I try not to do the SEC homer thing because I can't stand when people do it, but I have a feeling the league's going to be really dominant in the postseason.
It's been the argument the entire time is that, yes, the SEC doesn't look like some past SECs, but they still look better than ever damn body else. The country has changed. The sport has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The better's still better. I mean,
significantly better.
They have more money. They have more resources. They have more players.
They're committed to it.
They're committed to it.
Look around. I mean, there are multiple SEC schools that have better facilities than a lot of professional organizations.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no doubt. So, a little bit of news. Mason Nichols yesterday, Ole Miss told me that he has a mild, is it interior or internal oblique strain? One or the other. I don't know. Either way. Apparently, Mike said that's better than an external. He's not a doctor, but he was told that internal is better than external when it comes to the oblique strains. He believes...
Wouldn't all obliques be internal?
Neal, I am not a doctor. Mason is training to be one, but I am not.
Okay.
Mike is not, but he said that he was told that internal was better than external on an oblique strain.
Okay.
And that maybe it's sides of the oblique, left or the right.
Yeah, could be.
Sitting.
Could be.
But that they are classifying him as day-to-day. I got no fewer than 278 Scott Biddle jokes yesterday after that news came out because Biddle was day-to-day for 3 months and potentially cost Ole Miss the national championship
aren't we all?
2009. Katz and I both made that joke in the group chat as we were told that. That team really might have won the title in 2009 if Biddle were healthy.
Had
Pomeranz,
a real
Irwin,
shot.
Biddle.
Had a real shot.
Yeah, that.
I covered that team as a beat writer up until the end of the season.
They were good.
And there was moments in April, I think they were playing Georgia.
It was Georgia.
And they were so dominant that I thought, this team.
Because that was number one Georgia. That was a Georgia team that had Poitras and Gordon Beckham.
Oh, yeah, Gordon Beckham. That's right.
On it.
And Ole Miss just kind of rolled them. And I was like, whoa, this team's legit. And then Biddle went down, and they still should have made it, but didn't. Because sports.
A lot happened that weekend.
Sports are fickle.
And it took them a while to get over it, as you wrote that day.
Yep.
You had been through a similar situation in your fandom.
I had. I recognized it. It was going to be a minute to get back. That was not a popular column. It was true.
I've told this story, and guys, we're really all over the place, but it's kind of what you get with us. So
internal is your belly button side. External is the back side.
So it's good. Okay.
I don't know that.
All right. Sorry, I buried a lead there. Mike believes that Nichols is probably iffy for this week, but does feel like he definitely can pitch regional round if things are moving as they should. And as Neal said yesterday, you probably ought to go thank some higher being at some point on that one.
Yeah, listen,
if it's true.
If I'm and I've never been
he doesn't even put spikes on in Hoover.
If I'm the pitching coach, he just doesn't think about pitching. He's not throwing a pitch in Hoover.
No, he's literally not taking cleats.
Yeah,
if he'd like to come and hang out and eat a bonefish, sure, it's closed. But Jay Alexander's then have a fee. But
I tell him, don't even put your jersey on. Put a top on. I don't want to be able to be tempted. Because again, look, in a world where Ole Miss hasn't clinched it and they win on Wednesday, they will have clinched it. I think. I'm not losing. If I'm Mike, I'm not losing. If I'm going to lose a meaningful game to Arkansas, it's going to be later in a couple of weeks. It's not going to be in Hoover where I go out and throw a pitcher that's not quite ready and I lose him. Nope.
Jackson says, I think baseball is an issue as a whole, focusing on wrong intangibles, so the basics are overlooked, and I don't think near amount of kids are playing baseball past age 14 because getting burned out. I mean, we are creating an environment where nobody just kind of plays baseball randomly because it's one of the sports you play. We have become specialists in baseball at 8 years old.
Oh God,
you don't want me started. We could get down a rabbit hole here.
I am so anti
specialization.
The baseball culture. I don't. There's no point in me doing it. I anger so many people with this, but I think I'm right. Beyond the baseball part of it, I think we're stealing from kids their childhood.
Oh, well, there's that.
I really do. We're telling them, you got to go play 80 gazillion baseball games all summer with adults and all the things, and you're stopping them from doing the thing that we did when we were kids. I talked about this on McCready and Siskey yesterday. I'll be quick.
Oh, did you really?
I did. I'll be quick.
Okay.
One of the memories that I have growing up was playing wiffle ball in our neighborhood in Ruston. We would play baseball until someone broke a window, then we would play wiffle ball. And we would put the black tape on the balls. We would schedule games, and you learned people skills. There were no adults out there to break up disagreements. You had to settle them on your own, whether the ball was fair or not, whether it was out or not. Close play at first. He was out. He was safe. You had to eventually reach a consensus about whether the runner was out or safe. And you had to keep the score, and you had to have the rules, and we had all sorts of rules. And then you didn't even realize that at the time, but like some of the kids were younger than us, and some of the guys were older than us. And so when you divided up the teams, you had to take that into consideration and make the teams as even as you could. You did things that made you build skills.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Completely as kids.
Yeah. And I think we've taken that away. And now you got 8-year-olds and they got boom boxes and you're introduced just too much.
It's one of the reasons I like the neighborhood I'm in, because Carly Ann's outside a lot and they have problems and they yell at each other, and Somebody gets mad, maybe runs in and cries, and 2 hours later, you're back playing again. You figure it out.
Yeah.
Kids handle it when the adults stay out of it.
Of course.
That's how that works.
But now you've got, and you get a kid, if he's not really good at 9 or 10, he's done. I mean, you don't think there have ever been major league players who weren't good when they were 9 or 10 who became really good, after puberty?
Mm-hmm.
We're making decisions about who's a good athlete or not before puberty, man. Think of how stupid that is.
Well, it wasn't as prevalent. It was pretty uncommon when I was growing up. I do remember, and I wasn't on it, there was an 8-year-old coach pitch team. Maybe it was actually based out of Tupelo, but maybe it was based out of Amory. Their sponsor was Sunshine Mills, the dog food.
Oh, yeah?
It was in Tupelo. They had a big thing right there in Gloucester.
Yeah.
And they all came back to school with, like, Letterman's jackets. Like in the fall after the 8-year-old season.
They were stealing all
and
the girls.
I remember this because I thought the number of games for an 8-year-old, especially in this time, because this would have been 1991, something like that, was staggering. They had a patch on their sleeve, and I'm 41, so I remembered this 30 years later. It said 69-3. And it wasn't the record that impressed me. It was, but it wasn't the record that impressed me. It went, the 8-year-olds played 72 baseball games.
72 games. Yep.
I mean, you're damn good. Congratulations. But
was there burnout? Of course.
Oh,
of course.
I've actually talked to multiple kids as they grew up on that team. It went, hey, that kind of ruined me for a little bit. Like, you're 8. Like,
yeah, I mean, come on.
I played a little All-Stars in which, like, we took a trip. Like, hey, let's go get on out of there. So
yeah, don't get to be a kid.
So anyway, all right, take another break. Tell you about G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer MedSync for your prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. One trip to the pharmacy, one delivery. You have everything you need when you need it from G&M. So again, whether that's in Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs or G&M in Oxford, 662-236-2222.
It is nice that people reach out and check on you. I've had multiple people checking on me.
Today?
Yeah. Just, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
They don't get the whole score.
They don't. No,
okay. I get it.
I've just told them I'm good.
Okay.
Everything's fine. But I do appreciate that.
Yeah.
People care. We're brought to you by the College Corner. They've got autographed footballs and helmets in stock. You can check those out. We got all the gear you're looking for. Make a great graduation gift. Got a young person in your life who is headed to Ole Miss or Mississippi State. They've got a lot of that gear. So check that out at College Corner, 2 locations in the Jackson area. One here in Oxford, right off of Sisk Avenue in the Oxford Commons. Also collegecornerstore.com. We're brought to you by Argent Wealth. When you work with Argent Wealth's 401k advisory services, you gain a valuable advisory team and time-saving resource that will help you develop and maintain a solid strategy for your retirement plan. They are committed to providing you with the personalized attention and involvement that you want and need. Their goal is to help you manage your 401k plan properly and ultimately improve your employees' retirement readiness. It's myargentwealth.com. Also brought to you by John Edwards, Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's part of Virtuoso. It's a worldwide network of travel partners that allows him to supply his clients with added values, unique benefits, simply not available to other travelers. All you have to do is get in touch with John. A lot of you have done it over the years, so a lot of people will vouch for this. Get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget, and he'll give you options that you probably won't find on your own, help you create a vacation that creates a lifetime of unique memories. 901-494-3387 or J. Edwards at regencytravel.net. Get the beautiful, healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. Schedule your appointment today. Take the first step toward a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. BlueSky.com.
Podcast is brought to you by Spark, the fastest, most reliable fiber internet option available, whether you're streaming the Rebels or connecting with family and friends. They offer both residential and business packages with speeds up to 2 gigabits. To learn more, register for service. That's nespark.com. Spark. Get connected. Stay local. So the rest of the games, I kind of started here and then didn't get to it. Oklahoma and Kentucky today. It doesn't really matter. I think Kentucky's in a play-in situation. I think they need a win to get into the NCAA tournament potentially.
So it matters to Kentucky.
It matters to Kentucky, but it does not matter to me. I do not care whether Kentucky is in the field or not at this point.
God, no compassion at all.
Did you see? Sorry, okay. I'll go there in a second. I miss no opportunities to make fun of Texas A&M, so I've got something in a second. But
shout out to Alex Caruso. Love you. Good luck tonight.
That was only yesterday. Are we doing this today too?
Listen.
You were being very kind to the sports guides this week, aren't you?
I'm big on Alex Caruso right now.
Kentucky's RPI is 36. They absolutely have to win this baseball game today to get into the field. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
Well, then I hope they do.
You just want everybody to win?
If possible.
Okay, Kendall, thanks. Florida and South Carolina today, 4:30. Again, you want to play Florida.
You've changed so much. You just got mean. God. Just vicious.
And then game 4 tonight, Mississippi State and Texas A&M. And I hope you guys play tonight. God, I hope you get this game in tonight. The Bulldogs and the Aggies.
Same.
And y'all hanging out tonight.
Whatever it takes. Get it done.
Robbie and Hey Dad and you guys, I hope you don't have to go back to the park in the morning and you are good.
Is mercy rule in place in SEC?
They are. 10 after 7.
Oh, good. You can always hope.
So let's see. Let's find it. Have you seen this? You haven't seen this? Maybe it's the Texags thread that got deleted yesterday, actually. Remember I told you we tried to pull one up?
Yeah.
So Big Pete 3281.
Big Pete 3281.
That's the account. This is at Texags, courtesy of Message Board Geniuses that pulled this off and put it up online so we all could revel in it. Subject line: unfair media bias continues.
Okay.
Off to a hot start. Post. ESPN and other media outlets mentioned over and over about how A&M softball was the first ever number 1 seed to not advance to the Super Regional.
Okay.
I don't recall them ever saying that about anyone else. Certainly not TU. Why is it only a big deal when A&M does something horrible for the first time ever? Pathetic. We'll see. They haven't said it about anybody else. It's never happened before.
Never happened, sir.
Hence,
yes,
the notoriety that was coming with said game. Neal is not going to Hoover tonight. He is going to Hoover tomorrow.
Going to Hoover tomorrow. Cover the Wednesday game. I'm not going to, if there is a Friday game, I'm not going to cover it because Carson graduates that night. And then I'll play it by ear if they're still in it.
Are we going to have a late dinner at J. Alexander's tomorrow night? What are we going to do?
Somebody sent me a recommendation.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, seriously. It was on rebelgrove.com. You probably don't have access to it.
Sorry. Look it up and tell me.
I started to go, you look in your inbox. I think they sent it to you too.
Yeah.
But they didn't.
I have the one place I went to last time that AK recommended too. We have that over there. We could do that. It was really good.
I won't dox our friend here. He said, again, this is at rebelgrove.com.
Part of the Rivals Network.
Yeah, at least for now.
I'm sorry.
He said that he gave you a recommendation of Trey Luna a couple of years back.
Oh, it's good. Yeah,
he said the GM and the bartender left recently.
Oh.
Yeah. So this might be right up your alley.
Go ahead. Here we go. In. All right.
He says they're now at Fairley's.
Where's that?
Which is in the Target shopping center, not at all far from the Met.
Oh, well.
He even gave us a name, told us what to do.
Oh, really?
Said he's a big fan of fat washing in his old-fashioned. What is that?
I don't know.
I don't either.
No idea. Okay.
All right. So if that's not your thing, still got you covered. Completely revamped the cocktail and food menu. Because that might be our post game.
Okay. That's fine.
We just need the game to start at 4:30.
That's the catch.
Because I can be done writing by 8:45.
Well, I can take a computer and write at the damn bar.
I can't do. I mean, at this point.
I don't know. You might look at my screen. I would separate sides of the table.
I'm going to write.
Got so much stuff going on
My
here.
game story is going to be so much better than your game story. But yeah, that's that.
I'm going to Hoover.
That was the recommendation.
Yeah, we're going together. I mean, it's fine. Yeah, Bonefish is closed. The Bang Bang Shrimp is no more.
I know it's gone completely, isn't it?
They're still on tap. Again, there's still J. Alexander.
Yeah.
There's still Catfish Kitchen. We can go hang out with the boys. If they win, they're still there on Wednesday.
To answer your question about traveling postseason, yeah, all sort of depends on where they go and things. I'm certainly cheering for a home regional, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. I am really needing the 4:30 though. It's on my mind. Let's see. Where's the what?
I'm just laughing.
Where's the Dellinger thing? We do need to at least mention this. I don't want to. You can tell I'm like hesitant because anything to do with this is driving me insane.
Yeah, I've read it and I don't even understand it.
All right, so
I feel like, I mean, in all seriousness, I feel like it's almost one of those deals where we need to get an attorney on to go walk me through this.
You're at minimum going to need Siskey today. Yahoo's Ross Dellinger, of course, because that's his beat now. He's just doing national football house settlement stuff. Reports power conferences are working on a contract for those schools opting into the house settlement. Remember, you can opt in or out, but every power school is opting in as a way to bind the group and provide stability around the enforcement of rules. That includes, most notably, decisions from the new Deloitte-run NIL clearinghouse dubbed NIL Go. I did not know that's what that was going to be called. I guess kind of like HBO Go. It's going to be NIL Go as we're doing this. Although Max has reverted to HBO Max now, right?
Yeah, I think they're going back to HBO Max.
Like what big brain person, when I have HBO and I have Max, let's go with Max as what we're known by.
It's the same person that did New Coke.
You have Coke.
Yeah.
The number.
What are you doing? That was the simplest hand raise of all time. No. Meeting over.
The gold standard is already there.
We're good.
HBO. Everybody knows HBO is the.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
What
we got
are you
HBO.
Doing?
That's like Band-Aid. People say HBO when they mean Cinemax.
Yeah.
No, let's call it Max because it's more. No, shut up. No, stop. Anyway, sorry. An entity expected to more strictly enforce booster pay, blah, blah, blah. We've done all that. The consequence for not signing the agreement.
We're going to get to Karen Reed. I promise everybody. We are getting to Karen Reed.
Last thing, and then we'll do that.
Okay.
Let's see. The consequence for not signing the agreement is steep. A school will risk the loss of conference membership and participation against other Power League programs. The membership agreement also exempts the new College Sports Commission from legal action by member institutions over enforcement decisions, offering a way for schools to pursue arbitration. As one AD puts it, you have to sign it or we don't play you. Tulane sports law professor Gabe Feldman on the latter. Arbitration itself isn't surprising, saying you agree to not follow your state law. That may or not be enforceable. No matter what the sides do, they're going to be sued. This is an effort to rein in the lawsuits. It's not clear how enforceable all these provisions will be. So layman's terms, the conferences are saying you could get kicked out of the SEC if you do not sign an agreement that says you will not use state law to supersede our rules.
Right, and you waive the right to litigate. I mean, I'm not smart enough to understand how that's doable.
Well, I mean, as they say there, you're getting sued either way. Is anyone thinking about signing this?
Well, you're the one that met with Keith Carter at 3:30 in the morning. Did you ask him?
I did not ask this morning. I was tired.
I don't. To answer your question, I don't know. I feel like I've done a pretty good job of keeping up with the house settlement stuff. I know I ridicule it, but I do try to. This was the first story that I read and went, wait, what? I read it again and went.
Okay, I have one question. We'll talk about it more tomorrow when we have more time, or when we know more, because it'll have another day to flesh out. At some point, Michael McCann will say something about it, and we'll figure out what he's saying. So, my one question, however, is: does this tell you anything about what the power leagues are thinking? Are they concerned to the point that they're taking this Hail Mary a little bit?
Ooh, Hail Mary is a good term, because I think this kind of feels like a Hail Mary. Yeah, I think they're.
Let's throw this out there and just kind of see what happens.
Everyone is desperate, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Everyone is desperate, in my opinion, to just get this to slow down, because they don't have the discipline to do it themselves. People are too competitive. And we've seen the salaries skyrocket. And people are looking at this, and I think internally starting to go, this isn't sustainable. They're getting donor fatigue. I think you would vouch for that. You've talked 100%. To people. People are. I did this once. I can't. I mean, I used this example, and I've had a couple people come back and go, "You're making fun of yourself for doing it," but it's a perfect example. You took the big family trip to Disney, right?
Yep.
About, if you don't mind me asking, about what'd that run you? And if you didn't have discounts and points and stuff and connections, what would that have run you?
Oh no, if you're not really trying to do a budget trip, you get into the small 4 figures or 5 figures. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's call it.
It is not hard to spend $10,000 on a Disney trip.
Let's call it $10,000.
Yeah.
So that's $850 a month. About right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, there's a lot of families, man, that make good money, that do really well. That $10,000 is the vacation fund.
Mm-hmm.
If you're giving that to NIL, at some point, someone in the household goes, "This is dumb. I want to go to Disney. I want to take the trip to Europe. I want to do the things." As opposed to, I want to help buy a backup corner for one season. That's, you can't
a piece of a backup corner.
Help buy. You can't tell me that's not real. And that's they're running into that. And then the fan who's just, maybe the young fan who's just getting kind of started in his career. Maybe he's making $60,000. He doesn't have any money to give to help buy a piece of a player. He's scrapping together to try to buy season tickets to something. It's not sustainable. And so I think they're all trying to go, how do we control this? Well, if we put rules in place that we all have to abide by, this thing will slow down, and we can blame this on, because the kids, the people around these kids are asking for more and more and more. And the reason they're asking for it is because they're getting it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. Well, I mean, the players have done, from that standpoint, they've done nothing wrong. They just keep asking for money and they get it. So, until you're told no, it's parental. Until you're no, you just keep asking.
Of course.
Hey, can I have my iPad? Yes. Can I have my iPad? Yes. Can I have my iPad? Yes. At some point, you go, well, okay, I'll just take my iPad then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I have some candy? Yes. Well, all right. We're going to start.
And they just haven't had the discipline to say, hey, we're all going to sit here together and we're going to control
hash this
out and we're going to control the market.
Yeah.
Because they're too competitive.
All right. Last break. We'll come back. Give Neal his bone. He's looking at over on the television as we are watching.
You're gonna love this.
All right.
This was wild yesterday.
All right. We'll get there in a minute. If you're new, we've been following the Kerry and Reed trial. You're just going to have to live with it. It is what it is. So, Declaration of Independence Center for the Study of American Freedom. It's on the Ole Miss campus. They aim to explore and examine the fundamental and founding principles of the United States of America. They offer an academic minor in freedom studies, scholarship opportunities for Ole Miss students that bring along lots of networking potential. To learn more, contact Steven Scoltetti or Rankin Sherling at freedom at olemiss.edu, or visit independence.olemiss.edu.
If you are like me, and you're going to sit down tonight and watch some NBA, might need a beer. I would recommend Parish Brewing Company. Any of their products. The Dr. Juice is great. My favorite's Ghost in the Machine. It's a double IPA, absolutely fantastic. They've got Envy. It's an American Pale Ale, a terrific beer. Canebrake is out, their wheat beer. They even have Revy, which is a coffee stout. Whatever you're looking for in beer, you'll love Parish Brewing Company. So I look for them where you look for beer. I'll have a mailbag to you tomorrow at rebelgrove.com. It's presented by Art Hayes of Sotheby's International Realty. Are you thinking of making a move? Put the power of Sotheby's to work for you as a licensed agent with Sotheby's and a supporter of all things Ole Miss. My friend Art Hayes can help you buy or sell in your hometown or anywhere in the world at no charge to you. Seriously. It's a call and ask Art how. 612-805-5929 or email art at arthur.hayes@lakesmn.com. No, Ginger, double IPA is not terrible. It depends on who makes the double IPA. You have to try it. You'll love it. It's an outstanding beer.
Double IPA just feels too much beer for me with my not beer leanings, but maybe so.
Yeah, see, the 6 says not if it's done right.
That's fair.
Talking to both you and Ginger at this point. It says Charlotte area breweries have some really good ones.
One thing, and I will let you talk, and we'll close the show with that. Let me find it real quick. So we gave that one yesterday that we thought had some flaws. Yesterday, somebody put out a different one saying schools that were ranked in baseball, men's basketball, and football throughout the country. Wow, rain. Hard rain coming down all of a sudden. Women's basketball would have fit for Ole Miss too here, obviously. But the 5 schools for the 3 top men's sports that were all ranked in the top 25 at the end of the regular seasons for their respective sports, Oregon, Tennessee, Alabama, Clemson, and Ole Miss.
Wow.
Yes. Ole Miss one of 5 to be ranked in all 3 sports at the end of their seasons. And it would be 4 with women's basketball. It would be 5 with softball, actually, if you want to do all of the major sports there for that. So, men's basketball and football added a few more. They added BYU, Memphis, Missouri, Iowa State to that group. And then baseball added Texas and Georgia to football. So,
yeah,
that's that. All right, go ahead.
All right, so
we're doing Diddy right now.
Yeah, they're on Diddy. And I have not been able to keep up with Diddy as much because the Karen Reed thing is just, it's been a banger. It's everything you want in a trial. But the state, it's really raining. Oh, well.
Go ahead.
Sorry. The state of Massachusetts, the Commonwealth of Massachusetts,
correct,
put up their expert reconstructionist yesterday.
Okay.
Who was presenting himself as an expert basically with forensics as it pertains to phones. Okay. Because John O'Keefe, who died on that night.
Correct.
His phone is a big piece of evidence. When was it opened? How was it opened? Where did it ping? What was its temperature? All of these things, okay? So they put this expert on. Let me see if I can find his name. His name is Shannon with 1 N, which is kind of a giveaway that you have a problem already. They put, he was up. I can't remember his last name. Doesn't matter. I wish they would go back to it, but they must be on a break.
Okay.
Probably because the judge is trying to figure out a way to kick some jurors off.
Okay.
On cross-examination, the defense attorney begins to ask him about his resume, about the degree that he claims to have.
Okay.
From the University of Alabama at Birmingham.
UAB. Okay.
Turns out that he has not received a degree.
What would the degree be in?
It was in some sort of mathematics. It was a Bachelor of Science something.
Okay, sure, whatever. Statistics or something.
Along those lines.
All right.
Turns out that not only does he not have a degree from the University of Alabama at Birmingham, but the UAB does not even offer a degree in that particular field.
Oh, good.
He has an associate's degree that he received in 2015.
Be careful, JUCO kid.
One of the final shots on him was, if I'm doing my math correctly, sir, you've been pursuing this Bachelor of Science for 17 years. And he said, yes. And he said
yes?
Yes. And he said, and you don't yet possess that Bachelor of Science. And he said, I don't. And I was like,
he was claimed as an expert?
Yes.
On a retrial.
Dude.
They got a chance to do this again, and this happened.
Yeah. It was cringe. It was, I was watching it. You know that we always joke about the Office, the Scott's Tots.
Yeah.
And you cringe because you just need it.
No.
This was real life. Scott's Tots, at least you knew, hey.
Did they just stop?
No, the defense attorney he was a pit bull.
He hammered him.
Oh, he eviscerated him. I
loneliest place on earth on that.
I posted, throw in the towel. Make it stop. Make it stop. No, they're killing him. I don't know how, if you're a juror in this case, I don't know how you can be straight-faced. And apparently a couple of them weren't and they got the side eye from the judge, who is clearly pro-prosecution, maybe to the point that it should be investigated.
So it's going to be even under a guilty verdict, there's going to be appeals.
Shannon Burgess is his name. Yeah.
There will be appeals for days at this point.
I just don't see how you can find 12 people to convict her. I would think prosecution's best chance here is another hung jury. Mm-hmm. And then they've got to decide, because they can't put the lead. So the big debate now, are they going to put Proctor on? He's the lead investigator. And he's the one that went through her phone, Karen Reed's phone, and texted all of his police buddies, no nudes yet.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Called her a B, all that
stuff.
The whole deal.
Wow.
He's completely, if you put him on the stand, the defense is going to eat him alive for 2 days.
Yeah.
And so it comes down to one of those deals where I don't know how the Commonwealth of Massachusetts believes they're going to get a conviction ever.
And you don't redo it again. This is it.
But typically in cases where a police officer died, they keep going. But now you're just doing this
They better bring in
forever.
a whole new group of attorneys and investigators and prosecutors.
But you had to know, right? If you're the prosecution,
you were never going to get away with that.
You had to know that this defense,
and then if you didn't know, you should be fired into the sun.
This defense team was going to dig up into everything. They were going to if there was a world
where hair out of place was going to be found.
Yeah, and this cat, he had a little tuft of hair right here. Today he's back in all blue.
Was he believable until then?
No.
Okay.
It was shaky. And he's saying, I have this down to the second. But you're not. Siri.
Yeah.
How? Siri, cancel.
Okay. Technology.
Yeah.
So is this making you more interested as it finishes or less?
I'm fascinated. Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm fascinated just to sort of see where it goes.
Okay.
There's a part of me that almost thinks if the judge weren't compromised, and I think she is, she would, maybe this would be we should get a lawyer on and do a legal show. I wonder whether she would be within her rights at this point to call it just a verdict. Throw the case out, dismiss the case.
Huh. Okay. Well, man, we'll see what comes today on it. What are they doing today?
It's day 19.
Okay.
The prosecution is apparently close to resting.
Oh, really?
And if I'm the defense, the defense has a list of people they could call and just drag it out.
The SEC media team is never more out to display their dominance all over social media, and until the SEC baseball tournament, it's always perfection from a high opinion of themselves. They've opened up this morning with a banger. They've got a picture of the Hoover Met with the "It Just Means More" sign hanging in all of its glory.
Yep.
It's not a bracket. It's a gauntlet. 16 SEC teams, no easy outs. The best in college baseball starts now.
Well, it's not wrong.
Not wrong. No.
I mean, I don't know that anybody approaches it that way. Here's what would be crazy is if you did the SEC tournament and you went, this is it.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, it'd be war out there.
Yeah. Well, like in the 50s, we go, hey, we have 2 bids, guys. You got to get to Sunday.
Oh, man. I can't even imagine.
SEC gets 2 spots.
I can't even imagine how incredible that tournament would be.
Yeah.
But as it is now, I mean, you've got like the teams that don't play till Friday. They're kind of like, I mean, you think LSU might have to do something to get a national
might need one for the 8.
So, I tend to think they already have one. Whatever. It doesn't matter. But the point is
they'd have to beat Auburn, State, or A&M that day.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But like Texas, Arkansas, Vanderbilt, Georgia, I mean, they're done. They have nothing. So what stops it from being a gauntlet is that if you're Texas and you're down 6-0 in the third, you're like,
I get they've only. Okay. I'm going to say it only. They've only been in this thing 14 years. Missouri only has 3 all-time SEC tournament baseball wins.
Ooh,
3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Get started this morning.
So, all right, we will close there. Again, appreciate everybody. Anybody new, this is not our normal show, so hang in with us if you would like to be back tomorrow morning. And then Hoover, hopefully 4:30 tomorrow, Ole Miss against Florida or South Carolina. So all that content's up. We got more coming your way on the podcast and MPW Digital as the week moves on. So stay safe, take care, dodge some rain, and we'll talk to you again in the morning.